It ain't bad.
It ain't bad. Okay.
It ain't bad.
I've been waiting too. I was checking to see. I was like, when's she gonna respond back and give you my profile after you read the other person? So I sent Portia my 4 favorite rappers because she made a post. Like you can tell, what they think about people and they rappers. So I sent mine were these not best. These not the people I consider the best because I would mention Wayne when we was talking about best. But my personal favorite, yours were. Tell them who yours were.
Okay, so my personal favorite is Hov, Dolph, 2 Chainz, Pusha T, and Gucci Mane. Just favorite, like you said, not best. Just my personal favorite.
And mine were Hov, T.I., Jeezy, and Boosie or Pac, whichever one you want. I can do either one of those. My Boosie hurts you, didn't it? When I'm talking about it's 2 perceptions of Boosie. It's the Boosie now and the Boosie that I was listening to that was my favorite. So
these are people that when you get in your car, that's who I'm gonna hear the most.
That's what you gonna hear. And the
okay,
new
so
dude
my
that I sent
profile on you.
Yeah.
Is you you give pro-black.
Okay.
You give like black women, hate black bitches. I don't know how else to say that in a politically correct way.
I think me and Rich said that last week.
And wanna be you proper, you know what room to be in, but hood nigga. That's what it gives.
Like a chameleon. Like I can do it, but I can do either one.
Yeah. That's what it gives.
People like told me that.
Real disrespectful or respectful. It just depends.
Yeah, whichever way you want it. Whichever way it have to be. But yours is a good list too, though. I'm more on. You probably gonna hate me for this. I'm more on Gotti than Dolph. Just cause I fuck with Dolph, but I'm just a Gotti guy. Like I
get it.
I respect the hustle.
I'm not allowed to say it, but before I was really engulfed in the beef, I rock with. I rock with Memphis. Period. So
yeah, I fuck with Memphis.
Like Project Pat is easy top 10.
That's my nigga. Facts. So. When I I was in college, it was a nigga from Memphis told me that wholeheartedly too. He wasn't budging. He said Project Pat better than Jay-Z. This is like in 01. He was standing on it too. He was like, I don't know what y'all niggas talking about. Look at you. He got a debate. Hey, the older I get though, I was floored back then, but the older I get though, the more and more I get what he was saying. 100%. What's up? Another week in the Bookers. That voice that you hear, y'all know her. She's a normal contributor, has her own podcast, The Frequency. I hope you guys are checking that out. Miss Portia, how are you doing?
I am doing great, Mr. Spike. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to hear. Glad to have you. It's been okay. It's been busy, but it's been okay. That's what we asked for, right? I want to be busy, booked and busy. So I'm thriving in it. What about yours?
It's been cool. This week has been really trying for me though, just because I'm realizing I need to change up my routine. So I started changing up my routine now. So now I'm trying to go to the gym early and late, trying to meditate, get back into my Zen space before I start the day. Because just jumping into the people ain't working.
It don't, man. Talking to me before my coffee and shit like that, like it just don't work sometimes, right? See, that's where I'm at too. I'm trying to figure out my routine, man. I'm gonna have to go on and bite the bullet and do what Rich said. Start waking up at 5, because I record every day, and I got commute about an hour to work, and then you got work and record, and I don't get through. I wake up about 6:50, and then I get to work, and then you work to about 5:30, then I get home. And I get home by 7 and record from 7:30 to about 11. That's Monday.
Hold up, wait. Because Rich ain't here. I got to be on you. Where's the gym?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get it. I can't. I ain't made that 5 o'clock adjustment yet. So like the only time I can get to go to the gym, you be bullshitting on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and I record all day Sunday too. So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Like you just said. Yeah, it's like you just said, I got to figure out that part of it as far as my scheduling and routine, because I do want the meditation and the gym time. I got to stay in shape.
For sure.
Yeah, I got to do that. How you been with the gym? I know you was in there yesterday getting it in.
I've been in there. The parking spots is getting more frequent. People is getting out of the routine. They're trying to act like they work out for real. So it's been good. That's the only thing, I got to go to the gym though. Like now that it's part of my routine, if I get off of it, I have a bad day.
See, I had it in my routine. I was in there every day, like for about a week, 2 weeks straight. But then my schedule just got an influx. I was like, damn, I ain't got time to squeeze this in. But maybe I start doing it at night, something like that.
Are you gonna have to do some push-ups by the bed? Do something.
Yeah, some in-house. You're right. That is 100%. I'll try to get some sit-ups, some jumping jacks, get the cardio going or something like that. Absolutely. But I always have a great time when you're here. We got a couple of topics we want to talk about. As far as what I sent you, you want to lead?
Hold up, wait. I'm sorry. Before you start that, I got to give you your flowers. I'm mad Rich ain't here. I want to give y'all flowers because I listened. I believe it was last week. Is that when you was going on? A little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of teared up because I have not heard a black man go hard for black women in so long. Like it was so refreshing because, and it kind of hurt my feelings that you was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to gas. You know what I'm saying? I know some people listening and rolling their eyes, and it's like it shouldn't even be like that. Like I remember a time when we was all unified. So I do want to give you your flowers for being a black man who loves black women and stand for something.
100%. Black women made me. Like I said last week, I wouldn't be who I was without like strong black women in my life. And I never understand how niggas can have any other viewpoint. Like that's a life puzzle to me. Like I can't understand it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Speaking of black women and black men, you know, we get a little messy when Portia come on here. So her and I, we gonna get into this. You want to talk about Anthony Edwards' situation first and spin off to where that go, or do you want to talk about Smollett first and spin off and see where that go?
Let's roll with Smollett.
Okay, we'll do that first. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. Now break it down. You did the research. I sent you the link and you dived into it. So tell me what you find.
So basically what has happened, Jurnee Smollett, divorced, she's already divorced. Okay. Already went through the whole 1-2, paid him $1 million and she pays him $7,000 a month in child support, I believe it is. I think they got like a 7-month-old or something like that. So he gets paid, they go on about their separate ways, and now he is coming back saying, you know what, the time we were married, give me some of that retirement money that you got saved up to. And he's trying to dip into that. I think it is important to note that he's a musician. I say that in air quotes. Have you ever heard his music?
Never heard of the guy.
What is his name? I don't even.
I'll look it up while you talking.
Yeah, look up his name. I've never heard his music. But yeah, that is basically where we're at. She has not made a statement. I haven't seen any statements from him, but going through the court to try to get homegirls retirement money. I think it's like I think they were married like 4 or 5 years, I think. So what do you think about that?
Jazz Smollett is her name, right? But I can't find
her name is Jurnee Smollett.
Her name is which one?
Jurnee.
Jurnee.
Like okay. Jurnee.
Yeah, I was gonna say they got the whole Cosby family over here. Jurnee Smollett, and then her husband, what's his name?
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband Josiah Bell. That's his name.
Never heard
of him. And like you said, he is a musician. He is getting $7,000 per month, and he's requesting 50% of the funds that she occurred in her retirement accounts between 2010 and 2019, which when they were married. And according to California's community property law, marital assets must be typically divided equally in divorce. Now, there are two things here. One is the law, and then one is man law. Like,
okay,
he's doing this because I can get away with it in California where we're married, and maybe his musical career ain't doing what he wanted to do, and he need a little jolt past that $7,000 a month. Get a job, my nigga. Like that's the side that I'm on. I couldn't, in good faith, especially off of like I was saying last week, and you just give me my flowers. I couldn't, in good faith, say I don't understand it either way. So like even when it's the lady getting it from the man, I understand maintaining a lifestyle and things of that nature. But if we're done, we done. Like I don't believe in spousal support or what is it? What is it called? Whatever it's called.
Spousal support and
when you got to pay them after you're still married to continue to obtain the lifestyle. Okay, so we got his name. And you looked up his music. You said he had how many followers?
He has 1.74K subscribers. He has 44 videos.
I thought you was going to say million.
No. He got some albums, but I'm not seeing like 15 likes 7 months ago.
What is this on YouTube?
438 views.
That's why he asking for the money then. I can't believe he bagged her. I wonder how that happened.
This is the type of shit that makes me not want to get married. Like this is the type of stuff where it's like, if the situation I'm in right now doesn't work, asexual me. Is that what the kids are calling it? Where you just by yourself?
I think that's it.
Because to get rid of somebody,
right,
do all the paperwork, and then you can come back and double jeopardy me on our divorce. That's crazy.
I agree. I do think, like I was saying before we got, I was saying from a man's standpoint, I don't see the play. Like that don't come off as like what you should do as a man. Like, yeah, I know what the laws is in California. I know that it is like it's legal to do this. Like this is an expected thing. When you divorce in California, you split it 50-50. But like you said, to double back and to be like, hey, you know what? I need half of the 401k too, on top of the 7K a month I've been getting. And you don't alimony, that's the word. And you don't fuck with me. And like, I couldn't imagine accepting something from somebody as a man and we don't fuck with each other. Like that's crazy to me. And
because I'm also curious to know how they do the child support. Like, does he have full custody of the kid, or is she just paying? You getting $7,000 a month?
The $7,000 probably the alimony, right? Like that's for
well, the article that I read, it said for child support.
So he take care of it.
He got $1 million out of the actual divorce. So she's broke him off for $1 million for him, and then supposedly he gets $7,000 a month for child support.
Like I got a friend, and he has full custody of his kids, and his baby mama's supposed to pay him child support. He laughs at that shit. He's like, man, like nigga, I don't expect or want to. I don't like. It'll be cool to get it because the court ruled it, but like, nigga, if I'm sitting around waiting on that, then who am I? And I feel like that's the mentality that most men would have. With in this situation, I understand what you're saying as a woman, like being weary of like just bum ass niggas.
You know, this is common now. Like, think back to Mary J. Blige's husband. She's still jumping around in boots trying to pay him. But and I think it gets tricky because it's like, you tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems as though men still want to have that biblical structure, still want to have that submissive woman, you know, I'm the head of the household type of thing. And I understand women have elevated in careers, we making money now, but just because we bossed up doesn't mean that we want to take care of y'all. But then when we start acting like we taking care of men, we label something else. I know a lot of men who do not work and live off of their wife or do stuff. Like, I know a lot of them.
Like you like no job at all. And she out there busting her ass.
No job. The wife is working, or
what do he do? Is this a situation? I said, what would the men be doing? Is this a situation where he hustling or something and he just don't got a job he can contribute, or is this a situation where like he legit being taken care of? This is a difference, right?
There's no job. Like for one instance that I know, without trying to tell too much, they're married. She is a nurse. She makes some good money. He does not work. He lost his job, never went back to work, but he cut the grass. He go to her mama's house, cut the grass. He does that. But when it comes to financials, she is that.
Would you say that she likes that setup because she likes to, I'm sure she got a lot more control in the relationship, right? But no.
She still tries to be I let my man feel like he doing something. I still let my man, he's a good guy. I still let she's in that mind frame. Like, she ain't running nothing. If he says something, like, she considers it. It ain't no nigga go sit down on that couch.
So, it ain't that. I think it's a fine line there too, because like, when you say not working, do that mean hit a rough patch and he's trying, or did that mean not like working? I done mailed it in.
Not looking, not working.
That's crazy. Is he like an entrepreneur? Like, I'm trying to shoot the nigga some kind of
working.
He ain't selling weed or nothing. Like, goddamn.
No.
So when the bills come around each month, he don't even look out. I mean, I know I'm asking too much personal business about this, but like, you would assume that he ain't even looking at the bills. Oh, she take care of all that. She like, have you seen?
Sadly enough, like, I know a lot of relationships where, now, granted, there are some where the man, I ain't trying to say all of that, but I know a decent amount where it's like the woman is carrying the load. The woman makes sure the bills are paid. The woman makes sure that the kids are taken care of.
I know some situations like that too, but like, they vary as well though. Like, some niggas is the situations that I know, the niggas work. Like, he ain't like just laying up, or they got some kind of hustle about them where they're contributing. Now, she might handle the paperwork, but she know, like, I need this every month. I don't give a fuck how you get it, my nigga. Like, but this has to be brought to the table every month for this to be a thing. And I don't think that that's wrong. I do think that I just couldn't. I won't even say I'm different, because I think it's normal. Like, a lot of men can't just lay up and be taken care of. There's some niggas that can. Have you seen one of them days?
The Kiki Palmer?
Yeah. So he liked the nigga.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, actually.
So she kind of bedroom drunk, probably. Like, that's what it is.
And this is even worse for my girl Jurnee, because you ain't even with the nigga no more. Yeah. And he gets to come back. Why are people still getting married in California? It's a lot going on with that. I just don't. Men begging women for money is crazy to me.
Yeah, and you consider this begging, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I consider this begging, and I consider this in the sense of like, nigga, go find something to be successful at. And I ain't even talking about, you ain't got to be killing it like she do. I think that's a lot of time when men get caught up, especially in the scenario that you spoke of, that you know them, and this one, they see you doing well. Homosexuals is what they call us here. Rich producing the show, so he'll be giving some more inputs here and that, and he just couldn't join us tonight. But some men are intimidated or try to take advantage of a woman that they know has feelings for them, and that they trying to get like in her pockets. So that makes it hard for some men who not like that to date people who like may be more successful for them. I think may be more successful than them. Would you agree with that? Like, let me ask a scenario. Like, if you working, you in corporate America, you working, you doing your thing, you moving, you make $325,000 a year, right? It ain't a lot of, it ain't a lot of niggas in that tax bracket. You know that, right? You know what I'm saying? So your husband, let's say he has a business, y'all business, y'all invested in together, and he runs it, and he might pull back 85 to 100K a year from that business.
Okay.
Is that a scenario that's acceptable and not similar to the one that you explained? That is
sure.
What makes that acceptable?
One thing for me to make more money than you. That's fine.
Okay.
Like, I'm not tripping on that. I believe in partnership. I believe in, you know what I'm saying, helping each other out. It's ours, right? But if you are not putting in effort, if you aren't hustling and making your presence known in the house as the man, because you can make your presence felt. It doesn't have to be just financials, because I also ain't the type that, need Birkin bags or nothing like that. Just make your presence known as a man, that's fine. But you coming to me asking for allowances? Absolutely not. I can do that by myself.
When you say make your presence known, like, what does that look like? How does it go in that scenario?
Okay, in your scenario, with me making more money, right? Because I know our lifestyle and I know that he is working for us, I'm not asking for certain things that I know he can't provide. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't mind doing the 50-50. I just need to know that you are pulling the weight. You are taking out the trash. You are, when you speak, you have something to back it up. Like, I never want my man to talk to me and then I'm just like, nigga, you don't even do nothing. You don't even stand up for yourself. Don't tell me what to do, how to do it, how this house is gonna be ran. I just need men need to be men, and men begging women for money ain't being a man.
That's a fact.
I agree for that.
Would you worry about his ego though? Like, because in that scenario, and I think this is where a lot of it would fail when people are like that, men and women, especially us black, like, that there are things that you can do for yourself that your mate can't do. Like, if I want to up and I make enough money, if I want to up and book a vacation and we gone for 7 days, like, I can do that and be straight.
Okay.
I know you can't necessarily do that. Like, would that bother you at some point in time when it's like, yeah, you got presents, you do everything you're supposed to do. We do date nights and I don't need Birkin bags, but also there's this level of there's this level of life that I can get to, but I don't want to rub it in your face that I'm able to do this. Or I don't want to be doing too much because I'm in a certain tax bracket and you're not. Or is
so
it,
you mean like I can afford
I can go buy a Birkin. Like you said, I can buy a Birkin if I want to. If that was my bag and I wanted to do that, but I know I can't ask my man for it. Would that bother you?
No. That bother y'all?
I think some man that would bruise their ego. Like, if she coming in with the $10,000 bag and you like, is that? I think a man would look at it. I won't say blue collar because that's not the right word, but a man that is looking at it, making the $90,000 to $100,000 would be like, is that what she really want? And I'm not able to do that.
Like that for real?
Some niggas think like that. I think that's a man thing. Men we try to act like we don't, but we got fragile egos. Like, if you see your girl going to do something for herself that you can't do, not that you didn't think of, not that, it slipped my mind, not, I didn't know her like that. It just ain't in my, I'm not capable of going to drop 30,000 on the bed, but she is. That bothers some men. You don't think that's rightfully so? Absolutely. So because you're supposed to be her provider, right? Even though y'all tax brackets are different, you supposed to be the nigga to be like, if my girl want this and I love, like, I'm talking about a strong relationship too. I ain't talking about like people that are jealous of each other. Like, people jealous of each other in relationships. I ain't talking about them. We talking about a healthy relationship. Even in a healthy relationship, I think it would still bother a man if you went out and bought just one day I got off work and I feel like I wanted a new car and I got the new whip. I just put 5,000 down on a Benz, and
really,
my nigga, hold
on, because I'm trying to process this. So, me and you together.
All right.
I bring home $300K. You bring home 100. Okay. For you to feel like the man, right? You pay the bill. You can afford that, right? But when we want to take a fly ass vacation, I'm like, babe, I got you. That's hurting your ego.
No,
It
not
could just be
no,
like
it's not.
my girl
But see,
paying me back. We, you know what I'm saying?
but you
We
threw a
live in
little.
life.
So assume that y'all are going 50-50 on the bills.
Okay, so now we going 50-50.
Yeah, assume that y'all don't care about social media and that. Even though he makes enough to cover it all, you want to be, since you in a different tax bracket. Like I don't want that stress on my man. So we busting there, or I'll pay the mortgage or he'll pay the mortgage and you take everything else. Let's say it's working that way. And the trip, you couldn't necessarily get mad about because both of y'all experiencing that. I'm saying, what if it's you can't provide, like, what if you like to be fly? I can't buy you the Gucci shirts and the Birkin bags, like you said. I can't put you in the bust down watch and things like that. But you do like those things and you come home with those things. You don't think that a man will be bothered by that?
Oh, I don't feel like they should be. You put me on the game.
I think some men think like that because a man looking at it like, well, what if she ran across a nigga that could do that for her? Would it be different? Would she think about me different? Would she feel different? Some men have fragile egos. I wouldn't say low self-esteem, but fragile egos.
Gotta be low self-esteem, Spike.
Tell me why.
Because if I'm rocking with you, we in this house together. We're doing the things. We are happy. We are doing whatever. But I decide I go to the mall and I really like this watch. And I buy the watch. I can't treat myself to nice things because you think I'm gonna leave you because somebody could possibly buy it, but I ain't even asking you to buy it. That's crazy.
When you bust it down like that, it sounds crazy. I agree with you there.
Or
but let's say
like I need my girl. I need the woman who, if the woman makes more money, she needs to dim her light to make me feel better instead of just walking in the light. Because if, for instance, a chick like me, I'm walking with you and I'll buy it. Like, I don't even have to tell the world that I bought it. I just like the person that I'm with to experience the things that I'm doing. But I also don't want to be with somebody to where if I do want to buy this, I got to think about how they would feel for me doing something for myself.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So what if it's like, what if you, okay, now you're able to do those things. You got more frivolous income. He not. Let's say you want him to be and look a certain way too, so you constantly buying him stuff, right? Like you constantly feeding in. Like, I seen this shirt. Here go these shoes. Here go these things that I want to see you in because I'm able to get them for you. Do you think that comes off as, well, you're not really? I'm trying to turn you into what I want you to be versus who you are, or is it just him being like fragile ego again, like you said? Because I think I've heard niggas talk.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. Because I'm a gift giver. Like, I like doing shit like that. So now you got me thinking, like, did I have people thinking?
But some niggas is like that because I think it comes to a point where that happens and he ain't gift giving to you as much as you gift giving to him.
What if the love languages are just different?
Okay, tell me more.
Like, my love language, what I need is quality time and words of affirmation. That's my thing. But how I show love, because I am not sensitive and I am not, I'm just not. I show love by acts of service, gift giving. That's how I show my appreciation. So now I got to change my love language.
Okay, that's a good point. What if he was vocal about it? Because y'all, again, we speaking to healthy relationships. We ain't talking about dysfunction. Yeah. So what if he's like, you know what? I think I need you to ease up on like the shoes and the clothes and shit. Like, I don't want to rock. Like, I don't want you to invest that much in like my look or whatever it may be. Even though I still want to be fly and do these things, but I want you to ease up a little bit. How would you take that?
I'd be like, all right, boo, I guess. But then don't be mad at me when I come in the house with things that I want. Don't be mad because I didn't get you the matching shirt now. Because you just told me you didn't want that. Or don't, when we go out and it's a man that walked past and got on what you feel is what I would want. Now we arguing in the car because you feel some type of
way. That makes sense.
Damn, I did not know men was getting down like that.
It's some fragile men out here. Like they I think they look at it, especially with. I think they look at it as it's gonna come up, because how we look at women sometimes is, yeah, you did that, but like, am I gonna have to hear about it when we mad at each other? Am I gonna have to, like, is it gonna be a point where like both of us like had a bad day and we get in an argument and you like, nigga, I did this, that, and the third, and then you're like, I knew it was a catch to it. So to prevent all of that from it going there, a nigga be like, you know what, you need to ease up on it. Cause you see that point of view.
I see it, but I'm gonna tell you what I told my homegirl earlier today, because we was talking about actually the topic that we're gonna talk about next.
Okay.
And I had told her, I was like, one day I want to wake up and say, that's that young kid shit, right? Because in my bubble that I live in and like my quick circle of friends, I think I have blinded myself to stuff that you're talking about. Like in my mind, it's crazy to me that a man would trip about what I can buy for myself or what I can't, or what he can't buy. Like, because we move as partners around here, or but like people are really late 30s, truly still having these conversations. Women are still out here gold digging and not giving into relationships and dating men, and men are out here being bums and dating women. But I just feel like in the world that I live in, we have progressed past that. So, damn. I'm really mind blown.
You mind blown by that? I think some niggas do think that way. I think it does happen. But again, I think healthy communication also helps with it. Like if you fucking with somebody you rock with and you talk through that, I do think that it could be like managed. But I do think that sometimes it goes and the men just make the observation.
Your girl spoils you?
Huh?
You in a relationship, your girl likes to spoil. You would feel away?
No, I wouldn't feel away.
You would feel like you had to match the energy with the gift giving?
Yeah, I definitely would feel
pressure there or something?
Yeah, I definitely would feel that way. Because I think it always comes back up to like, I do all this shit for you and you ain't doing what I'm expecting you to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wouldn't, and then that goes to, well, damn, I didn't know that was the expectation when you were doing this. Hold on real quick. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah. You really, you got me thinking. Because now I'm thinking about past relationships I've been in.
They just didn't vocalize it. I'm telling you,
that's probably what they were saying. I had somebody truly lying to me that he went to college. And when I finally asked, like, why, it was like, oh, because it just seemed like that was the type of man that you would want. And it's like, I never told you that. But y'all be in your head a lot, I see.
Niggas would be in the head, especially when you're talking about, I'm older, I'm in my 40s, I know how to communicate. Especially when you talk about when you're younger and niggas don't know how to communicate. And another scenario in what you're talking about, like when you're younger and you're not communicating, you may think y'all more equally yoked financially than y'all are. So you are doing these things for him, and he may not be doing those things for you because it's misleading the financial situation that he's in. He ain't lying to you. Like, he can take care of what he need to take care of, but I can't go just get you a pair of shoes on the whim, but you can. I can't just book the vacation, you pay for the room, I pay for the flight. And he can't do that. But he don't want to be you all in his bank account. Y'all not married, but y'all may be dating. So now he looking at it like, I got to match this energy. Now I got this anxiety because I really can't afford this shit, my nigga. But you doing it for me, and I know the expectations are I should be doing it for you. So now you got this circle of things where it's like, damn, like he probably come more distant, and y'all probably like losing communication and connection because you flourishing and you doing these things for him, and he struggling to keep up.
Sleeping with the ops, basically, is what you sound like.
In that scenario, what did you do though? What did he do? Did he need to just be more clear about where he at with you? As far as like, I can't do this. Because that probably would be a turn off too, though, right?
I don't know. You got me fucked up. Like, I'm really over here like,
you probably have experienced
I never thought about it like that. I just kind of figured if we have a good time, what's the problem?
Niggas not up front. Like, we know, like Rich said, it's male pride. We want to provide and try and find what we can do. Like that's
but
true.
Do y'all ask for? Okay, so I'll speak for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been asked, what do you expect? What do you want? It has always been assumed. But I am also a woman who, I mean, I come from a set of parents that instilled like independence. And if you want it, go get it. Don't ask. So maybe that comes off, but no one has ever asked, hey, what do you expect? It's always assumptions. Do y'all ask what the provide is? Because every chick is different. You providing for me is going to be different than you providing for somebody else.
Most of the times, no, but I do think that a present man that's trying to like make sure that he's providing for you is going to pay attention to what you need. And once he starts to see that those things, well, not even need, but want, like the needs are going to be taken care of if it's a solid relationship. Like the needs we're not talking about. I think where the gray area starts is the want part. And that's when we start to the situation and the conversation that you had. Like, I'm taking care of her needs. Like, ain't no bills being missed. Date nights are still happening. If you need something, you can ask me for it. But the want part of it, when I start seeing your wants and realize, oh, I can't keep up with that though. I can do the shit that we doing. I can make sure that you are satisfied as a woman. But when you start talking about the wants and you having access to the wants and I don't have access to the wants, a nigga will feel a certain type of way about that. Because most of the time niggas is not being honest about where they are financially anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's one anxiety that they gonna have unless y'all married. But you talking about dating and you knowing exactly what a nigga got and what's in his savings and what's in his account on a daily basis. He ain't having to check before y'all go out to eat. Make sure he good. Like, some niggas can pretend really well. And I don't think that a lot of ladies are taking into consideration. I mean, he got it. He cool. Like, we doing this stuff every day. It's fine. I ain't never asked him for nothing and couldn't get it, but you don't know, like, damn, I had to move this over here and do this, that, and the third to make sure that I had that. Like, I think men, it's a very prideful thing for men to be like, yeah, I can't do that right now. Especially if it's somebody that you fuck with. Again, we're talking about healthy relationships. So we're talking about a woman that you want to do these things for. And then she's doing these things for you and she's doing them in abundance and you know you can't keep up. So then you start, like you said, you in your head and you like, oh shit, I got to get it. I don't know what I need to do.
Well, in these scenarios, do we start the relationship with me making more money than you, or we like on the same playing field and then I get a raise?
Let's say you gradually start making more money than them. They're not stagnant. They do what they do. They make nice money. But let's say you gradually just start killing. And now that you gradually killing it, you used to go to Zara, now you going to Louis. You used to go to Target, now you shopping in Bloomingdale's. Because not that's like that's what you want now. Like again, I get it from a standpoint. I'm not speaking that it's wrong. I work hard, so I'm going to go get the things that I want. Right. I respect that mindset. But sometimes your mate can't keep up and they feel a certain way about that. Now that you grinding and you get it, because what if they grinding too and getting it, but they just not moving at the same pace as you?
So Rich said it's natural for people to want to upgrade and grow. Niggas don't want to be left behind while that's happening.
And that could be the feeling of the nigga. He can be like, damn, she
y'all really, now I need to talk to some women that I don't normally talk to.
She leaving me in the dust.
Who did this to y'all? Who did it? Like, Now, okay, now granted, if I'm constantly moving up and homeboy is still at McDonald's, we may just be growing apart as humans. I think, me personally, I don't think the finance or the amount in the bank account is the thing. It's the going to get it, the passion of it. Like, I can deal with somebody who makes less than me, but I mean, your bills is paid, you still aren't out here stagnant, like you still are active and you out here trying to do something. I feel like that's different than you just being like, yo, I want to be a rapper and I'm quitting. And
that's different. Well, so I think there's a solution to it too while we're talking about it. Let's not say McDonald's will want to be a rapper. Let's say you spoke about college earlier. Let's say you're more educated than he is. He's gotten to where he is from grinding. Whether it be like he can make his 75, 80K because he know what job to have or got some certain skill set, he gonna get to his bag, but it ain't as fast as your ascension. Let's say you well educated, you got your college degree, you know you can go in any room and get a job. Your resume reads well as to where his doesn't. So your ascension is going to be naturally faster than his. So that probably would happen where you would start making more money than him, even if y'all started on the same page. So in my opinion, as a man, where those things may happen, and it's like you said, it was blowing your mind that men may think that way. I think there has to be an investment into the relationship where you would trust him to, we would start a business together, or there would be some type of thing where like, yeah, you make this bag over here, but let's put this business in our name, and I don't need to have nothing to do with it. I can be the sole contributor. I can go get the loan for it. You need to run it, and you need to run it well. I ain't even got nothing to do with it.
So I'm your boss at that point?
No. You ain't even involved in it. We just making an investment. We just making an investment together because I think that shows the trust in, even though he can't buy these things and do these things on a whim like I can, there's a trust there in this relationship that I know you can handle your business. And I don't want you to be over there stuck somewhere where you ain't comfortable making 75, 80. I don't want it to be a situation where you stuck over there making 75, 80. So let's start this food truck. Let's start these investments. Let's do this.
If I don't want to start a business?
What?
Basically what I'm hearing,
why wouldn't you?
In my woman brain,
okay,
what I'm hearing is, if you make more than your man, dim your light and invest in or do something that will make him feel more manly, even if you may not want to do it, because he needs to find some type of way in his mind to be on your level, something that you ain't even thinking about. That's what I'm hearing in my woman brain.
That's interesting to hear. That's interesting. Like I'm not going against woman brain. Like, you think how you gonna think about it, but I do think that he needs something to do. I will say that, to keep, like you said,
but
y'all think like that. If you're in a position to, yes, if you want the relationship to be good, in my opinion, in my man brain, because in my man brain, my response to that would be, I'm building something for us, our name, our family, whatever. If we want to have kids, if we're married, I have this thing to do that we're both invested in, even though you're removed from it and you do your 9 to 5 corporate thing. I'm focused on this thing, and you know how hard it would be to build this thing, and you have the expectation of me, and I do of myself to make this thing great. I'm over here doing it. So it don't matter now that I'm not buying a bag, because you know what I'm doing. It don't matter now that I ain't paying for the vacation, because you know what I'm doing. But go ahead.
Question. So if I invest my dollars into
show dollars. I thought it was our shit. I thought it was ours.
If I'm making the money, right?
Okay.
Because I'm just going off of what the standing is, right? So if a man could possibly be intimidated by the money that the woman makes and what she can provide for herself, right? If I take this money that you are intimidated with and pour it into you, whatever you build, man math from what you were telling me, you gonna feel like
I'm doing my part.
You still working for me, or I'm just trying to figure out how my money doesn't intimidate you when I have it. I mean, it intimidates you when I have it, but when I give it to you, the money that you quote unquote didn't earn, you good.
How is it giving it to me though? You investing in us. Like so, and that
You said I don't have to work there. You said I don't got nothing to do with it.
But see, I think that's where you get the gray area with men though, because like you said, I like to have fly shit and I like to do these things. There's no problem when you're spending the money there. But if we like, oh well, let's build this thing together and I'm gonna take control of it and make it successful. Now it's your money, and now you don't want to spend it. Now you don't want to buy the bag.
Why couldn't you paying the bills like how we talked about? You pay the mortgage and I pay the streaming services or whatever.
Okay. Right.
And I guess my question is, in man mind, why isn't that you building our home? You building our family structure? You building the foundation of what we are trying to grow, which I would assume is like a family or whatever. You want to bring in a business to which we just talked about how niggas come back and double down trying to get your money.
That's why this whole conversation started.
I don't know. I think men think too much into it, and that y'all egos is why it doesn't. It's hard out here. Because I never would have thought that. I never would have thought, okay, you pay the bills at the house. I have some extra money because you can even look at it as she has this extra money to do for us on these trips or whatever the case, because I am helping her establish her bank account because I am paying majority of the bills. Like a man, you can find your manliness in it if you think outside of the box.
So like you said, that's a really good point. I think that goes to a point that we don't address a lot in the sense of what you said. Like, did he ask me what providing looked like for me? So what a man will never say, and we just having a conversation here so I can say it, what a man will never say is, well, what does that look like for him? Like, do I want those trips? Do I want those shoes? Do I want the stuff that, like, the gift giving that you're doing? Do I want those things? Or would I prefer a business and to be able to have the runway to do what I see in my head? Right. So like you said in the sense of, I don't want to do that. But what if he in the sense of like, I don't want to do the trips and like we can do it, yeah, because that's what relationships are. But I would prefer that money be spent somewhere else where I could be more fruitful and be great and continue to build up without maybe having to go to work for someone else every day and go to work for our name every day.
When I respond, I'm not saying I would not invest into my partner. I just want to say that. But if the goals and the love languages are so different, we just got to break up.
Gotcha.
Because I also feel like there's a lot of trying to force things to work if it doesn't work. Like if you want to be this huge entrepreneur and just take trips every so often, but you want to build your company and all of that, more power to you. However, I work and I like leisure. So I don't want to get off work to work. I want to travel and I have the money to travel. If you don't want to do that, maybe we just ain't for each other.
That is a good point. And I agree with that. I think that's the resolution to that conversation. I agree with
if all else fails, break up.
Y'all grown, like just leave each other alone. But I do think that is like you said, most women don't think about that and they carry it. And then I think most men are too manly to say something about it. So that's what another week in the books is for. Hope y'all got something from that. Obviously, Portia did.
I cannot wait for this to end so I could be like, Do I make you feel like the ring? Do I
Oh, that's funny.
That was interesting.
It was very interesting. I'm glad we got to do that. Before we get out of here, I won't take too much more of your time up tonight. Anthony Edwards. For y'all that don't know, Anthony Edwards is a basketball player for the Minnesota Timberwolves from Atlanta. He might be 24. He might be. I don't even know if he
I think I read 23.
Yeah, like so 23, 24. He's been in the news a lot lately in the sports world. If you don't follow sports, he met with Barack, had this real funny demeanor around Obama. Did you see that?
Yeah. I don't know how to take. I didn't. How did you feel about that?
That was some Atlanta shit. Living in Atlanta, like that's an Atlanta nigga through and through. Like,
okay. I didn't take it like it was. I don't know.
I know. So you spoke of something earlier as far as when you talking about the rap thing and knowing how to move in different rooms. So I took it a little bit differently than probably most people would. I do feel like that's something that you should have in your bag as far as knowing how to wear different hats and just showing up as like you can show up as yourself and still be mindful of the room. I do believe that, and I think that he needs to learn that. Like he has to learn that. Like you talk, and I ain't saying Barack is like we can have a whole nother discussion about Barack, but you still need to know the presence of the people that you in and carry yourself accordingly. I don't think that he did that, or I don't think that he knows how to do that. But he only 23, like you said, he gonna learn that. With that being said, go ahead. What you say?
I said he gonna learn it quick.
Yeah, he better if he want to continue to make the money that he's making. But with that being said, Anthony Edwards also, to that point, said he didn't want to be the face of the league in the NBA. Like he don't want to carry that with him. He like you don't know what that means. But that's the same conversation as the Barack conversation. What me and you gonna talk about is he recently had a baby. I don't know the young ladies. You know the young lady name? Did he have a baby? I don't know her name.
Little baby mama. That's all
I thought it was the future. It's little baby mama.
Little baby mama.
Oh, so she like him young. She better not never go to cell block
one. But we'll get into it.
She better not never go to cell block 1. So this lady just had a baby by Anthony Edwards, and he's married, I believe, and he just had a baby in his marriage, and I think he just had another baby as well with a third woman, all within the last 2 years. So I just want to paint the picture correctly. Now he told this lady who is little baby mama too. How little baby can't be no older than what 27, 28? 30 at the oldest.
I think he just hit 30, 31 because when I looked her up, I think she's like 6 to 8 years older than him when she got pregnant by him.
How old is she? She like 38, 39?
She's 38.
She 38. Little baby 31. Anthony Edwards is 23. She just had a baby by Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards explicitly told her that he did not want her to have this baby to get the abortion. I'm thinking mainly because he's married. She didn't listen to him, and she went on ahead and had the baby, and he filed legal documents saying that I don't want nothing to do with this child. Get the financials ready. Tell me what I got to pay every month. Keep her away from me. And her name is Aisha Howard. Thank you, Rich. So there's been split on the internet of how this is going. Like some people are siding with her. Some people are siding with him. Me and you gonna talk about both sides of it and see where we will fall. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I do want to add a caveat to the summary of the story.
Okay.
He is making sure to sue her or to make sure that the child support is in Georgia and not California because baby girl made sure she moves to Cali because there's no cap on child support. And I think that is a very, very important part of the story. So he's basically saying, you're not getting this California child support. You better take your ass back to Georgia. With that being said, I support the young man. I really, for one, you are 38 years old, young lady. You are 38. You know the game. You've been with rappers. You you know, little baby was a sucker. You licked it. You was able to get pregnant and get paid. I think that baby is only like 8 years old. You still got at least some years to get some child support. I don't know if his went down or I don't know the case of that, but it's giving predator. It's giving money grab. That man told you he did not want that baby. And I feel like whenever you lay down as 2 and come up as 3, and one says, I don't want it, as a woman, you either have to be like, okay, I accept that I will be a single mother. I don't think if it's on record that a man does not want a child, you should not have to pay child support, and vice versa. If, you know, he wants the child, she don't, okay, I'll have it, you take it, I'm not paying nothing. That's just how I live by. But hey, she's gonna have to deal with her daughter or son, I don't know what it was, but asking why I don't have a father, or telling her I don't have a father because of you. 4-month-old daughter. Like, and especially as a daughter, like I was blessed enough to have an active father in the house in my life, putting me on game. But you are bringing a female into the world where the dad has said 10 toes, I don't want you. I just wonder how that is going to develop her. Like, that's what's really shitty about it. But as far as him, stand 10 toes, honey. I get it.
Well said. I think this speaks, and what I'm going to say speaks a lot to her personality if you really peel back the layers in it. Because like you said, the little baby factor does play in, and she was older than him. She has the baby by him. I'm going to jump out on a limb and say, yes, she received child support for that baby as well. Her knowing that and knowing how there's a pattern here as far as, like you said, like the age of the men, Anthony Edwards and Lil Baby at her age, and then them not wanting to be with her. Like it ain't a scenario where it's like, oh, well, this was my chick and it went bad. Like, I think in both cases, it was like, damn, I didn't mean to get you pregnant. You weren't the one I was trying to get pregnant. And I seen a lot of backlash online for Anthony Edwards. It's like, well, if you didn't want to get pregnant, you shouldn't have shot the club up. Like, nigga, like, come on. Like, we know that ain't how it go. We all adults here. Like, you ain't trying that every time, and sometimes you slip up. It is what it is. But once he states the fact that he ain't trying to have no kids by you and you still want to move forward and have the baby, you can't play the card with me, because I do believe her body, her choice. I believe I'm a supporter of like abortions, whatever you want to do with the baby, that's on you. You're a woman and it's your body. I ain't trying to step in and tell you what to do as a man. If you want to have a baby, that's fine. But don't turn it into, oh, it's I've seen a lot of rhetoric around Anthony Edwards saying, oh, you're going to be another deadbeat dad. You have another black child. He don't, but I hate the narrative in the sense of people are commenting saying, well, it's another black child without a father and this, that, and the third. Because let me tell you what she can do. She can have that baby and go find her a man. I know that's possible. She just ain't going to find the man that she's looking for. And that's what I'm talking about with her personality. It's a nigga right here working 9 to 5. The $70,000 nigga that we was talking about in our last conversation, he'll wife her up and he'll take care of those kids. I seen niggas do it for a lot less. So you talking about a chick with baby kids and Anthony Edwards kids, knowing she get a nice chunk of child support on a monthly basis, and he making his little 70 grand. That nigga show up every night. He coming to all the football, soccer games, everything. She can find a nigga to take care of them kids. You ain't got to worry about it being a fatherless kid. I promise you. And just like Rich put in for context, this is Lil Baby 4th child with his 4th woman, and he's married. So shout out to his wife.
Anthony's wife?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. His 4th child with his 4th woman again, and he's married. So shout out to his wife. But the trying to turn Anthony Edwards into the villain by saying he's just letting the kid grow up out there without a father, I don't agree with that, because his stepdad's available. I know there is. I've seen how she looks. It's niggas that will sign. It's niggas that will sign up for that. I promise you they will, nigga. And you getting that check every month for him. It's stepdads out there that would happily do that. So don't do the fatherless child shit with me. If I was Anthony Edwards, I wouldn't care either, because again, I expressed how I felt about this relationship and this pregnancy. And like you said, it very much gives off predator. And now you're trying to play the victim because you didn't get the scenario that you wanted. I hate that scenario where she trying to utilize her or weaponize, she's trying to weaponize her being a woman and how this scenario usually play out when it ain't Anthony Edwards and it is just a normal chick. Like she's trying to weaponize that, and I don't like that. So there's not a lot of sympathy.
Women like that make it so hard, and women like that calls for conversations like we had before this one, where it's like, this is what y'all think women want. I think what also threw me is like, okay, he was very honest. She thought she saw a suck and licked it. He said, absolutely not. We can agree that this was all a money grab and girl, fuck you. Sad for the baby. I think what really threw me off is like, you 38 still out here just raw dogging. It's 2025. Y'all really out here doing these type of things? That's unsafe.
Yeah.
Like, and he's had multiple babies. So, hey, wife, I understand if you got to live in a doghouse, it should look like the one you in. However, you ain't got no BV or nothing. Shit is weird. Y'all, Anthony Edwards is 23. I know what 23 is like. You get a pass for doing that dumb shit.
I'm 23. I'm 23 with $200 million or $300 million contract.
But
so yeah, this is going to happen.
Where are the OGs? Yo, Anthony Edwards, it's bitches out here. Fuck them. Sure, that's what you're gonna do. Snip it up. It can be reversed. You don't want no kids, but you want to be out here raw dogging. Like, the only thing that I feel like men in his situation where it's like, I don't want this baby. I've been in this multiple times. I have money. Girls are throwing it at me. I can have whoever I want. Snip it. Because although you don't agree, it is another child out there, innocent, knowing just by looking on the internet one day that my father really said, I don't want you. Like, that's going to be very, very hurtful. And by your statistics in man brain, she getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support. He going to feel like he can't keep up. So yeah, she is going to be single.
No, but see, in this scenario, he keeping up by taking care of none of the kids. That's his keeping up. I'm the nigga that, like, that nigga left you. I'm the one that's here now taking care of these kids. That's always gonna be his go. That's his big joke. Like, every argument, these ain't my kids. I'm here every day. I'm taking them to the football games and school, all that shit. And these not my kids. So yeah, in man brain, that's the business. That's the investment in the business in man brain. I'm saying you ain't have to give me the business money. I'm right here every day playing daddy doo-wop or whatever it may be. So yeah,
Rich said when she graduated high school, he wasn't even in preschool. That's sick.
And she expected, but I don't know if she expected a different outcome or she's acting like she expected a different outcome. That's what irritates me about the whole situation.
I think like she's acting only upset because she's not going. He's fighting the California money. I think that's the only reason, and just for a little clout, a little talk on the shade room. But I really think it's more. I don't think she cares about that child. I don't think she cares about him being in her life, because before you got pregnant, it was stated he told somebody else, abort it or I'm not going to be there. Like, this is what he does, and you are 38. Bitch, you know.
You still did.
So honestly, this may sound horrible, but I really hope that young child grows up, sees this, and makes her life a living hell, because she shouldn't even did that to her daughter. Y'all be setting up the kids, and the kids are supposed to be the future.
Or herself. You're right. She shouldn't have did that to her daughter or herself. But I ain't empathetic for Anthony Edwards either, though. Like, it is what it is for him. Like, he know, like you said, that there's the conversations that need to be had with him and his OGs. Like, bro, you you reckless. And this goes back to the beginning of my synopsis of the story, where he say he don't want to be the face of the league because he's doing shit like this. And why that money that you get
is wrong though. I heard he got a lot of flack for that. And I understand the whole I don't want to be the face or a role model because I'm not a role model. People try to get that off all the time. But essentially, if you are a public figure, that's who you are. But is it that he just doesn't want the spotlight or the expectations so that when he does have stuff like this, the NBA knocking on his door saying you making us look bad?
Yeah, I think it's 100% because he still want to move reckless. Like, you don't hear these stories about LeBron. Like, there's stories out there about LeBron, but you got to find them. And if I were his OG, my explanation to him would be the difference between the money that you making now, which is really good money, and the generational money that you could be making that LeBron makes is you moving reckless and not wanting to be the face of the league. You're talking about LeBron closing in on $1 billion, and you're talking about Anthony Edwards having $400 million from playing basketball. Like that, well, excuse me, not even 400 million, but however much he make from just playing basketball. Like, LeBron has an empire, and that came from being the face of the league. And you telling people that you don't want that, yeah, people are not going to take that. And the only reason
though, I feel like that's kind of I mean, I can't believe I'm caping for him. I don't know nothing really about him besides his baby stuff, but I feel like it's unfair to kind of say that because LeBron came into the game when you had to have a college email for Facebook. Like, life was totally different, and how like he was molded. I feel like LeBron was truly molded to be this. And there was no internet or anything like that. I feel like it's kind of unfair to say, like, even the Ja Morants, like, granted, stupid, but essentially these are kids with a lot of money and a lot of OGs like the LeBrons or the Steph Currys. If they have, I haven't heard anything, but there's so many men who have reached this top tier who ain't saying nothing. Like LeBron, when he said that to Barack Obama, did you pull him to the side and say, hey man, maybe, remember cameras is around? Or I don't think
you don't think LeBron put him around?
You know what I'm saying?
I think LeBron probably had that conversation with him, but I just don't think he cared. Yeah, I don't think he cared because I think LeBron is that type of dude. LeBron wants to contribute to and say that I had a role in your success. And I definitely think that he had a conversation with Anthony Edwards after that Barack interaction. But I also think, I agree with that, Rich. It's interesting that Obama produced that little clip that we keep talking about, and they left that in. And to the point that I was making, what you said with LeBron, he grew up when you had to have a college email to have a Facebook. Yes, that's true. What's so authentic and what gives Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards the opportunity to be the face of the league without having to go through that, without having to be as polished as LeBron James is rare. And I think people are trying to explain that to him, and he's just like, I'm just a nigga from whatever side of Atlanta I'm from. And he's not really like how he's approaching it now at 23. I think at 26 or 29 or 32, he's going to look at it a lot differently and wish he had taken the opportunity of being the face of the league at 23, because it means a lot more than what he's considering. I think right now he's just considering, I don't want y'all all in my business. I still want to fuck bitches and have babies and do all the things. Like, I'm making money from my contract. I'm good. That don't matter to me. But LeBron has always thought about legacy. LeBron from day one said he wanted to be the first billionaire or whatever it may be from basketball, or one of the billionaires like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. I think Anthony Edwards is looking at it like, nigga, I get by off purity, skill, and talent. I don't need to be the face of the league. I'm gonna be straight regardless because I do what I do. Like he told Barack, I'm the truth. Like that's the mindset that he has. He needs to understand that there's more, and that's the criticism that he's been getting. And I don't think nobody knows how to tell him that. Like, it ain't nobody that he respect that's telling him, like, yeah, bro, what you doing is cool, but it's a gold mine on the other side of this hill, my nigga. But you sitting right here playing in this.
How much you get? How much was his contract?
If you talk, I can tell you.
And the only reason I'm asking is because everybody has 20/20 vision in hindsight, right? But for a 23-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia,
5 years, 244 million.
With 244 million.
That's his first
that
contract.
Is like, to your point of you saying like, yo, it's a gold mine over this hill.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, he in the gold mine now, probably in his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard to see the future, or maybe he thinking like, okay, yeah, I could be like LeBron, but LeBron can't do shit. LeBron can't go nowhere. LeBron, like, maybe he thinking of the sacrifice. Like, I don't
want to do that.
Yeah, I can do potentially with my million. I can get the same yacht as LeBron. He has met what he wants to do. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Do you think that's a poor mindset though? Because like, why settle for 240 million when I can make billions and I can make sure that my kids are straight?
He don't care about his kids.
Clearly.
I feel like some people you can talk to, and I feel like some people, I wouldn't say it's a poor mindset, because you obviously had to be strong and determined to make it to where you made it, and talented, right? But maybe where he's at is his LeBron. Maybe he don't want to be up there. And because of those pressures, that's probably the reason why. Like, I just like playing ball. I don't want to have to go out here and shake hands and kiss babies and walk and talk like LeBron. Because that's a hard job.
It is, but it's a lot of money. Do you think that before we get out of here, because we've been 1 hour, I know you, do you think that a lot of, on a smaller scale, niggas have that mindset? Like, I'm cool. I don't have to go that hard because I don't want to be that successful. I'm making what I need to make. So like, why y'all telling me to do this shit? I think that's Anthony Edwards is a larger example, but it happens on a much smaller scale where niggas like mail it in and be like, fuck it, I can do this. I can sell my little whatever it may be and be cool. I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta clean it up. Why would I do that? Because now I got to do like what you said and be LeBron and have all the expectations and have all the places I can't go. I think that's a mindset that niggas sometimes settle for, is what I would say.
I definitely don't disagree. I don't disagree. I have thoughts on that though. Like, what you see for me may not be what I want. Like, but what if I guess there's just so many different scenarios to that. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, a good point. I heard
a lot of people say, hey, Portia, the frequency should be on camera. I don't want to do that shit. Like, I don't. But I also understand, like, yo, it could possibly get a lot more because of people's attention span and how they like to scroll and all of that. But that's just not me. And will it be authentic? Will it be what you feel as though it could be if my heart's not really in it? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't ever slouch on me or not tell me what I could do to be better. So I guess it just depends on the situation. But I definitely feel you should definitely uplift.
Yeah, you brought up a great point, because I did some shit like what you were just saying, similar to the frequency should be on camera. I did some shit on Instagram this week, and one of my homies hit me up who's active on Instagram. Was like, you should do it this way, and then you should tell a story with it. And I was like, bro, that's really good information. And thank you. I appreciate you having input, but I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even in the sense that I don't want to do it, but it seemed like just. So now that you said it, it makes me understand him more, because I was on a different side from Anthony Edwards. But now I just had the same situation that happened this week, because it just seemed like so much more work than what I was aiming for when I posted what I posted. Like, I was posting some comments that people made about me being on different shows. And he was like, you should tell a story behind it. And you should do this. And then you should wrap it all up with that. And then it'll get your engagements up. And then you'll get more. And I was like, yeah, that sounds
excellent advice.
That sounds fantastic, my nigga. Yes, like a thank you for the advice, and I may do it, but that just, I was like Anthony L was like, bro, I don't like that. I'm hooping right now, my nigga. Like I'm just hooping. Like I ain't trying to do all of that. So yeah, that was a good way to bring it home. Miss Portia Renee from the Frequency Podcast. So glad you were able to fill in with us this week, man. Another week in the books. We got our weekly drop in from our monthly drop in from you. Make sure we keep those going. The people enjoy it. Tell them where they can find the Frequency on a weekly basis or how often you drop it. And I'll let you close out.
Yeah, so you can catch the Frequency on Instagram, the Frequency Podcast 2. You can write in the Frequency Podcast 2 at gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Portia Renee 2_. I don't do nothing but talk shit. And yeah, you can find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you having you. If y'all want to reach out to us, AWITB2022 at Gmail, or you can hit me up directly. I am Spike Lou at Gmail. I am Spike Lou on Instagram. I am Spike Lou on all social sites. Make sure you guys check out the other work that I do throughout the week, the On Deck TV podcast, the Good Earners podcast, the Frame Per Second podcast, the Dead End Sports podcast, and every other thing that I'm a part of throughout the week, man. Make sure y'all check that out. I appreciate the support. I'll be pod. We out. Peace.